Hello and happy new year. Welcome to the Get At It Gaming Plus podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ben.
I'm Alex.
And again, happy new year.
Are we allowed to say Happy New Year?
I
Isn't that
mean,
like isn't that a thing?
I mean, you
Who's
could still
who's that guy
say
who
it.
you like? Who's George Costanza?
Oh,
Larry David. Like isn't that
yes.
isn't that a thing he says where you can't say Happy New Year?
Larry says a lot of things. If you've ever watched his show, which I don't think he's acting, and I think that's really him. Um, but I think there's like a threshold of when you can say it, and long as you keep it within that month, I think it's okay.
I thought it was
It
like,
should be okay.
oh, you know what I think it is? As long as it's like before MLK Day,
Yes.
then you're good. But if it's afterwards, then you miss the boat. It's too late.
That actually sounds the way Larry David would say it. Like
I
exactly.
think I saw that. I think it's something that he said.
Oh my god, I love his show. Now I want to go watch his show. Um, but this is not the Larry David show. This is the podcast that we do, the bi-weekly podcast where we talk about everything from video games to movies
To
to
Larry David.
anime to Larry David or whatever we want to talk about. We have been on a break, which has been wonderful. Not that we don't love doing the podcast, but it's a great little a breathing room. This goes, we do a lot of work into making sure this sounds really good. And yeah, so we have been on break and we are finally back. Alex, how was your break?
So how's my break? It was good. I was as how I normally am. I was out of town, so I didn't wasn't able to stream. So I forget when my last stream was, but I think it was like the weekend of Thanksgiving or something. So
I think it was, yeah.
um, or maybe earlier. But yeah, I normally go down and visit my family for about a month because I have the luxury, thankfully, to work remote, and so I can just travel and then just as long as I have a stable internet connection and quiet, I guess I can work anywhere. And so yeah, I went to go visit my family, stayed there at their place for I worked it for a couple weeks and then had vacation for a couple weeks. So yeah, in that time, I did a lot of things. I bought a lot of things as well. But yeah, it was just mostly hanging out with family and then playing certain video games and stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into later here. But I guess since I brought it up, I guess I don't know. We're already going off the show notes that we already
Oh
wrote
yeah.
down. But um, to go along with like us buying stuff and talking about stuff, as we normally do, in case you're new here, at the Get At Gaming podcast, what we normally do at the beginning of the podcast, we talk about like what we've been watching, what we've been playing, but then we also talk about things that we bought because we don't have self control. So we just buy a bunch of
No.
things and talk about it, and we say it's just for the podcast. When in reality, it's just for our shelf to look pretty because we're never gonna play it. And a few of these things were that during my trip, but we came into agreement that it's the segment can be dry at times because it either can be leaning towards one person a week or we might just not have anything, so we just skip a segment. So now we're just going to skip the segment entirely and pretty much instead give you an exclusive video. So this will be a thing that won't be on podcast services because it's a visual show. And we'll just try to do it maybe like once a month. I don't know exactly when. Once a month, once every 2 months. It just depends on like once if we have anything worthwhile to show you, because like
Yeah.
there are some months where it's like, oh yeah, nothing came out, and so we don't have anything. Um, we might still bring up things occasionally on the podcast, but not necessarily for that segment. Um, but yeah, I just want to give a little bit of transparency there that that segment is going away. So if you really love that segment, go over to youtube.com/gaming and you can find it there. Hopefully, by the end of this month, at least for the first episode. Um, yeah, it'll still be called Hidden Trophies, I would assume, but it'll just be its own little thing where we can show things that we bought, and it might be shorter. It might turn into just another podcast. Like, I don't even know at this point
Yeah.
what could happen with that. Like, maybe it's just a bonus episode for
Well,
all purposes there.
and since we've already dived into it, there have been times where we've just had so much stuff. And so with us talking about it, it just made more sense to do something that was a visual anyway, because it's hard for the listener to say when I hold up a game or something, to be like, oh, hey, there's this game here, showing the front and the back. Or if we buy something that is an exclusive game, I know Alex sometimes buys some pretty exclusive figures and anime that are not ones you would normally see. So we felt definitely going that visual route would be better for you guys to kind of watch.
Yeah.
So that segment will be moving to that, which is good because we really do want to be more of a conversational podcast. And just kind of break it up for a little bit different than we normally do. So I'm just gonna kind of jump in one with my vacation.
Yeah.
So basically, I didn't do anything. I didn't go anywhere. I had to work for a little bit of December, but then I had 14 days off in a row. I took some vacation. I did nothing. So the only bad part was I was sick for like the whole time. I had whatever was going around. It was not fun, but I did get to play some games. I watched a lot of shows that I hadn't watched or got caught up on, which was great. And just kind of like hanging out. Um, with us having such a big family, the holidays get so stressful. So it was a nice time to be stressed for the holidays and then just breathe after. Uh, so I mean, that was pretty good. Uh I will say that that's usually what I do is I take that time off at the end of the year just to kind of um doing that. And as the podcast continues, we will do breaks, but still have pre-recorded stuff for you guys. Alex and I
Yeah.
try to like make sure there's always an episode so you guys don't miss out on episodes, and these are like special episodes.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of things. So yeah, if you have if you're new, or if you have um just missed some episodes and you're coming back because it's like, oh man, forgot about this podcast, but it's the beginning of the year, I need podcasts since I'm going to the gym for the first time and I'm only going to do this for 2 months, for New Year's resolution or something, like you need a podcast to listen to, so why not listen to this? And yeah, so we do have backlog episodes, and we have yeah, like our holiday episodes.
Yep.
Last year's holiday episodes are pretty good, in my opinion. We also did have our Sea of Stars spoiler cast. That was our real first spoiler cast, I want to say, that we've ever done. That we ever finished, I should say, because I'm still gonna hold that over your head.
You know
But
what? We should give some.
should we
So yeah,
context?
so back when it was me, Spencer, and Alex, we were going to get Last of Us 2 when it came out. We all were going to play it, and we were going to do a huge spoiler cast. So we all three got it. Alex was zooming through it, and so every week we would record, he'd be like, "Hey, where you guys at?" Spencer hadn't touched it. I was like 2 hours in, and then I was watching my son play because I was like, I just don't have time to play it. So poor Alex finishes his game. He goes, "All right, when are we doing it?" And it never happened. It never happened. He's probably gonna never let me forget it because it was a great idea. Um, I just that beginning was harsh, and I just couldn't do it after that. It was just too harsh for me. But so yes, we did finish Sea of Stars, and we had this great spoiler cast. Um, and obviously you guys liked it because that's one of our highest listened episodes of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so I do appreciate that. Thank you for listening. That actually did take a little bit of work to do. Just because that's my first time really. I mean, I guess cat's out of the bag with this. Like, I I more or less organized that episode. As far as like a rubric and schedule show notes there, and that was the first time I really tried to do something like that. We've done that before with some of our movies and stuff before,
Yeah.
when we really know a movie and we just want to talk about stuff. But I think it translated really well into the game, and hopefully we can do more of these in the future. I do know, for example, there are certain games coming out later this year, and hopefully we all beat them in a timely manner, to where we can talk about them during the zeitgeist, and actually, get some, I don't know, get some numbers off of that. I don't
Right.
care about numbers, but at the same time, like it's always
It's
nice
so
to see when you talk about something that's actually relevant.
what you can't see is him staring into my soul like, if we pick another game, you are gonna finish it. There's a couple games we've talked about. Um, One particularly, I'm not gonna say it yet, but he's already told me like, "Hey, if we decide to do this one, I have to help you because it's such a different game." But there's ways of doing it and getting through it, and then there's so we get the same ending. So uh, I'm definitely down to do some more spoiler casts, whether it be that movies, TV series.
Honestly, you know what? Let's just. I'm not gonna say it right now either, but I'm gonna give you permission. Go ahead and just buy them on Switch. We're gonna do it.
Really?
Just go ahead and just
Okay.
do it. Because um, I can go through that fast. Like I yes, we have so another one, and for example, that is on the radar. I don't know if I already said it, but Rebirth like is another thing. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I would like to do a spoiler cast on that, so I'd like us to like try to go through that as fast as possible, um, in a timely manner. But I do know that like our other games that we've been talking about and stuff could take a while. Um, and even if I don't finish a game all the way through, I have enough knowledge of said game that like I wouldn't have to finish it. You would, unless it's something that I've never played before, and all that. But yeah, yeah, just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and buy it. It's like not that much. Actually,
Yeah.
it might not be on sale anymore, but still, just go ahead and buy it.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah,
I'm excited because I feel like we've when we first started this. So Alex has been on since episode 3 of season 1. This is we're going into our 4th year of podcasting. And so we had a big meeting about it because the one thing we never wanted was it to get stagnant. We don't want the we don't want it to get like where it's a chore. And Alex has always said this. I don't want it to be a chore to do. I don't want to go and be like, man, we gotta record. And I felt like when we were doing like all nighters, and I do mean all nighters, we would go on a Friday or Saturday, and we would record from like 8, 9 o'clock at night till 2, 3 in the morning. Um, thank God we, we excuse me, we got a better way of doing it because that was awful. It was
yeah,
it was not fun.
yeah.
Um, so we always want to do that, and we want to have more interaction with you guys. I watch a lot of Alex's streams. I don't stream. My goal this year is to do some more streaming. I'm not going to say I'm going to stream every week or every month, but I do want to stream, more often on the Get Out of Gaming thing.
Hmm.
Uh, even if it's like me just playing Halo and sucking very horribly, uh, because I still play Halo. We all knew this going into this new year. That's what I was gonna play anyway.
Of course.
But we've got a lot of ideas and things that we want to kind of run with here, and I know that poor Alex. Alex wrote out. like ideas for like our notes or whatever.
We can still talk about that stuff later. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, okay.
We're
So
just kind, we're
there's a
just kind of just like talking a little bit still about like YouTube and I don't know, other show ideas, but like that's not necessarily the future, but it's fine.
no.
It's fine. Let's go back. Let's put a, I don't know, a rope back on this. A lasso of truth. So what, so you kind of briefly talked about, and I'll go after you. You kind of briefly talked about like, oh yeah, I watched a bunch of stuff. What did you do on your break that wasn't family? Like
Um,
like family stuff.
a lot of family stuff. I feel like that is the time to, and I have kids, and I know people listen to podcasts. I have 5 kids, but I really want to spend more time with them. I know they live here. I see them every day, but I did something with each one of the kids separately.
Mhm.
Um, one thing was is we took my younger kids to go see a movie, and we went to go see that migration movie, which
Mhm.
I was like dreading. I, I was like, this is gonna be awful. But then when one of the ducks in that movie, voiced by Danny DeVito, he was hilarious.
Yeah.
He was how he kept that PG, I have no idea. Because every time I see him, I always think of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Frank.
Mhm.
Um, so that was one thing that we did. We went to the Children's Museum, and I was just not wanting to be there because it was overpopulated. Um, I mean, and let's be honest, how many times can you look at dinosaur bones? But my one child is like fascinated with dinosaurs. Um,
Small tangent. We're talking about, people know approximately where we live, and it's kind of fine. But are you talking about like the Capitol, like Children's
mhm,
Museum, like Indianapolis?
yep.
Okay. So do you remember? And you're older than I am, so I don't know if you've necessarily been to the Children's Museum at this time, like when I was a child. There used to be a Gilligan's Island section in the
Not
Children's
anymore.
Museum. I know, but there used to be,
Yeah.
and they used to have just Mario Kart 64 in there for no reason.
Okay. So crazy thing. There's a section upstairs where the merry-go-round is.
Mhm.
Okay. This thing's old as dirt. We always ride it. I always am just like, ugh. But we do. We wait in line and get in there. But then they have all this other random stuff behind it of like older stuff, and they had video game systems there,
Mhm.
and they had like a Nintendo. It wasn't working, but they had a Nintendo. They had an N64. They had a PlayStation. They normally were, hey, you could play it. I don't know because of COVID, they've turned those off. Um, but they also had this big like '90s thing. It's like one of their big things. They had a Winterfest, which was weird and useless. I'm so not at the museum. It's not even funny. But then they had this big '90s thing, and that was pretty cool for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they still have that stuff there, and they've got like it's like a small video game museum.
That's
It's
kind of
very
cool.
small. It's very very tiny. Uh,
Is that
and
weird
then like
Water World place still there?
yeah,
Okay.
where they have like all the water everywhere.
All the water everywhere, and like it does like Pee Wee Herman type stuff, like where you can like make stuff do things with the water.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a weird. It's so weird because not only do they have that, but they also have like live animals over
Wait,
there.
what?
Yeah, so they have like turtles.
I don't think they had live animals when I was there as a kid.
They're nothing crazy. So they've got like local fish like bluegill and bass and like turtles and frogs. Like nothing crazy. Like there's not like sea otters or anything like that.
Not yet.
But yeah, they you could go over there and you could see like frogs and turtles and
Huh.
some fish. The museum to me is weird. I don't understand it. Um, but we have a season pass, so
Have you guys
you know,
gone to like? I mean, I guess it's a children's museum, so it's like it's more interactive and stuff. Because I haven't gone
yeah.
to the children's museum in a long time. Um, the last time when I was a child, I went to the children's museum and got motion sick because they had an IMAX, and that was like one of the first places that ever had an IMAX theater, and it was like in, I don't know, it was like a weird like huge dome IMAX, right?
Mhm.
And they played one of those like we're exploring Indiana. We're in a hot air balloon, and I just got sick, and I like had to leave the room, and like it was on like a field trip or something, and I just couldn't watch it because it was just that weird like vertigo and also just new technology where it's just like I can't deal with this at all.
Yeah, they still have that IMAX theater there.
It's crazy
But
because it's like a bubble or something.
yeah, we didn't do it because it was like Llama's Christmas or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like a cartoon. And I'm like, it was so packed. I just wanted to get in and get out. Especially with littler ones, you're always watching where they're at. They don't use strollers or anything. And then, you always want to watch, make sure they don't get lost. Uh, but as for things I did watch, okay, so don't make fun of me, but I did watch all of Andor. I don't like it.
Thank you.
I did finish it. I did finish
I
it.
didn't finish it because I didn't think it was worth it.
I just didn't like it. I don't. I guess if you're gonna pick a character for a series, he just to me he wasn't the one. You
So
know?
so yeah, exactly. So people like to be really defensive about this Star Wars property for this show and say like, "Oh, you don't like Andor cuz you like pew pew laser wizards fighting." Yes. But also I don't like the character of Andor. Like I don't like him at all, and he didn't really do much for me even in Rogue One. I liked everyone else pretty much in Rogue One, but Andor himself, like what's his name? Cassian Andor or
Cassian, yeah.
something? Um and like I didn't really enjoy him at all. So the interesting parts of Andor were where like you did see some like political stuff here or there, and that stuff was kind of cool. um but if you had like anyone else, if you just had just someone else, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But I just don't like him as a character, and maybe it's his acting as well personally, but like I just didn't enjoy him, and so that's why I didn't enjoy the show. And like that is the one, yeah, that is the one Star Wars thing that I have never, out of like canon, I guess, that I've
Right.
never like finished. Like I mean, like I haven't seen Ewoks, I haven't seen droids, I haven't seen it like that stuff yet. But
Yeah.
like I've watched all the movies, I've watched all the other shows, and like even like the spin-off movies and stuff. But like Andor was just like a big old no from me.
Yeah, believe it or not, I had it on while I was doing things around the house or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it really was a hard push to finish for me. But I did finish it. I watched a lot of movies that I never have watched, including a very one that people don't know with Liam Neeson called Ice Truckers on Netflix. It's exactly what you think it is. It's trucks on ice. Um, it was yeah, it was a movie. Um,
You remember an episode of King of the Hill where they're trying to like take Hank's mom's stuff in a huge truck, and they have to like travel around like like a huge mountain, and it's like snowing, it's all icy. That's why I imagine Ice Truckers is like. It's just like you're
yeah,
just trying to navigate the world in geography, but it's icy.
yeah. It was different. It was it was like an action suspenseful film. But I think I spent more time watching things than I did playing video games.
Yeah.
I had a list of ones I wanted to complete, and the only one I completed was Super Mario RPG after break. I think I did it the last time you streamed is when I finished it.
Mm-hmm.
So, which was Monday, wasn't it? No. Did you stream on Monday? I don't remember.
Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah, one of those days I picked up my Switch and I finished it.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, but yeah, I think that was like my big thing was that. Um, I did a ton of organizing in my room. As you if you're watching this version, I thought I got my night trap. I haven't opened it. Um, I don't know how many they sold. They said they were sold out, but I don't know. I haven't opened it because
Yeah.
if I really want to buy the game, I could buy it right now for like $10 on PSN. I don't need to open the
So
disc.
like, I really don't think I'm ever gonna buy anything from Limited Run again. And I really was challenged and tempted in November, December, and I didn't do it. Like they had Persona 3 not reload. They had Persona 3 portable and they even had Persona 4 golden and I did not buy them. And like I didn't even buy like the super special awesome edition that I did think about a little bit. And then I thought about it some more and I was like, you know what? I don't need this, not from Limited Run, because I don't want to wait a year for this and forget about it. I don't like I like my Scott Pilgrim. I'm appreciative that I have it and it's there. But then because I waited so long for it, I didn't really touch it because I didn't care
Yeah,
about it anymore. And that's the
yeah,
problem with it. Like I don't know. It's like waiting for a birthday present or something and it's like, cool, what do you want for your birthday? Oh man, I really want Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Okay, well, since it doesn't come out on your birthday, you're gonna have to wait a whole year until you get it on your next birthday. And you're like, at that point, like, I'm not as invested into it anymore. I'm already
yeah.
doing other things, I'm playing other things. Um, so
And this
yeah.
that there, if you remember, so I bought that August 2022, and I got it the second to last week in December of 2023. Um, that's well over a year. I kind of agree with Alex. I know we went on a. I won't go too much into it. I know we had an episode already where we talked about it. I have the Jurassic Park games on there
Mm-hmm.
that I did, but that's the last one. Which I only did it because I didn't know they were going to do a digital version of it, and then they ended up doing a digital version, and I paid a little bit over. So my copy was $39. You can buy the digital version when it's not on sale for 29.
Mm-hmm.
And I only wanted it so I could play the Sega Genesis versions of the game. Which, if you have it and you could play it retro, great. But I don't have a Sega Genesis or those games, so for me, this is the best thing. But man, when I bought that, I was very excited at the beginning. And if you go back to early episodes when we talk about it, super excited. And then here we are. But I think what made me mad was they had a version they were giving out or they were selling at New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con. And I think that's what upset me was, okay, so you got this one here, which is different, but it's a big box like that, but you didn't get mine, like mine done, who pre-ordered it way before that. I just, to me anymore, um, if they have to, the only game I would probably buy from them if they do Sea of Stars, but I've already heard that they're going to produce that for everybody. It's not going to be a limited run thing.
Yeah.
There's going to be a physical release of that game. So
Yeah.
I'm there with you. Um, and I know we went on like a huge tangent there
No, it's
and
totally
different
fine.
things, but that's what I think we want for the podcast is to have that. And I would love to have more people's thoughts as well. Because I know, on Facebook and Twitch or on Twitter and stuff like that, or X, people are pretty talkative. So yeah, this is what we want. We want to have more of a casual conversation about things. Although I do feel like every episode we have a what grinds my gears moment.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for either me or you to have that moment. I think it
Kind
was Andor.
Yeah, we kind of already did. um Yeah, because you mentioned Andor. What else are you watching? I guess, or did you watch, or was that pretty much it? Just
Uh,
Andor
I,
and some other things
I'm
here and there.
I, and this is gonna. I'm really trying to get back into some anime, so I'm trying to find some new ones to watch. I went back and watched after Mugen Train. I watched the rest of Demon Slayer, so I'm caught up there. Um, my son is very upset because Attack on Titan is done, so he's been trying to find a new one to watch, and it's been difficult.
Does he want something? No, this is the episode for this. Sure. Um, I'll be your curator or whatever. Consultant. Um, Does he want something that's long, or does he want something that's good?
He wants something because I I never got into Attack on Titan. Um,
I did for a little bit, and then I fell off.
yeah, he loved the storyline is what he loved. And then how things progressed. And now that it's over, he's like, what now? And then he was gonna watch Jujutsu Kaisen, but you have to have Crunchyroll for that. It was on HBO for the longest time,
Yeah, because Crunchyroll and HBO were together for a little bit.
and then they got sold, and now that's the only way you could watch it.
Guess you're getting Crunchyroll.
I have too many streaming as is.
Of course that happens. So FYI, people, if you're listening or watching on my side, um, Windows told me I don't have any viruses because it decided to do a thing. So it did a doodly doo. So if you heard that, that's why.
Oh, Windows.
Yeah, good old Windows there. Yeah, I was actually gonna suggest just popular stuff like that. Probably. I mean, like a Jujutsu Kaisen or something like that. I mean, I personally haven't watched a whole lot of it, but I know enough that if he might like it. I mean, he likes Naruto, right? It's the same thing.
Oh, he loves Naruto
People
and
are gonna
Dragon
kill
Ball.
me right now in the comments, but same exact Jujutsu Kaisen and Naruto, the exact same thing. There's a Kakashi, there's a Team Seven, there's everything. Um, so yeah, I guess it just really depends on what he's looking for. I guess it also depends on what you want him to watch as well. I mean, I guess he's older now, so it doesn't really matter. You're not really like telling him to watch or not watch certain things, um, or at least around other people. But
Right.
I mean, like there's a certain thing like Attack on Titan in general is like it's fairly very violent and stuff like that. So you probably don't really care about violence. So like it just kind of depends. Like I always try to suggest things that like someone would like based on what they like. Like I'm not gonna go out of here and just be like, "Yo, go watch Evangelion," because like it's just good. You'll like it, and it's like that's not necessarily true. But I mean, he should go watch it because it's great. He'll like it. But I don't know. What I was thinking was Parasite. I don't know Parasite the Maxim. I don't know if he's ever watched that before, but that's a pretty good two core show about these like aliens that come down from space, and they basically take over a host and then just I don't know, try to destroy like the ecosystem or whatever. And the main character, Shinichi, I think his name is. Like, it's been a long time since I've watched it. I own it on Blu-ray, but like the main character gets infected by it, and then before it like fully goes into him, he like gets like a belt or something or a rope and like ties his arm, and then it doesn't get circulation, and then the parasite won't like go up into his mind and brain and take over him, and then it's kind of just stuck on his hand, and so he names him Migi, or maybe it names itself Migi because that means like right or whatever. So like now he just has like a hand that's an alien, so now he fights other aliens. It's very violent and stuff, but it's also really really good. It is older. I want to say it was on Adult Swim even for a little bit, like when Toonami like first appeared. So it might be like a 2016 show, but like it's pretty good, and like that seems like something that he might like, but it is shorter than probably what he wants.
Watched a good percentage of those. Um, I loved it. I thought it was a great story and how the aliens could tell that he's an anomaly,
Yeah,
and so they'd always try to kill him, um, and stuff. And so his hand was like, "I got to make you live because if you die, I die,"
yeah.
sort of deal. He's probably gonna watch Boruto. I would
Boruto's good.
guess that. Yeah, I think that's his next step. He said he couldn't get into it the first time, but now,
Has he watched
you
the
know,
movie? The
No.
Boruto movie is awesome, and honestly, like, if anyone is gonna watch Boruto, or if anyone is just interested in Boruto in general, I would just be like, just watch the movie first, at least, and see if you enjoy that. And then if you enjoy that, then go into the series. Because the thing with the series is that like the first two arcs maybe are anime original, so like they do prequel stuff and then it catches up to like right at the beginning of the manga, which is like what the movie is. um but like that stuff is really really cool. There's this weird arc with like time travel that's really neat, like that I like a lot. And then like Boruto ended, so like they're on a hiatus where they're going to, you know, get another Boruto series here soon. So, kind of like how Naruto versus Naruto Shippuden, there's Boruto and then Boruto whatever arc it is, where he's older. So like, yeah, I mean Naruto is great. Um, I watched some Shippuden recently, but then or even just regular Naruto. But then like, yeah, Boruto is an excellent choice if he does like Naruto and all of that, but you just have to have that basis of, do you remember everything? I hope you remember
Yeah.
everything because they reference things.
Yeah. And I think, for him, because he's 17, he turns 18 in like a couple months from now. He could watch pretty much what he wants. Um, so uh, he'll find something. He'll be like, "Hey, you should watch this." I tried watching Attack on Titan with him. I'm like, I just can't get into this. It's not for everybody, but he loves it. He even owns like the PS4 games,
Yeah.
which are super expensive for some reason.
One of
Um,
them got cheaper recently, I've noticed, but
yeah, his grandparents bought him both, um, and they're good looking copies. And I
yeah.
was like, when they bought it, I'm like, man, he's gonna play this game for like 15, 20 minutes, and he's like,
The first one's really good. I remember playing the first one because it was very Spider-Man-y, Muso
yeah,
type stuff. So like it was really really fun. I didn't play the second one. I didn't play the 3DS game. But the first one for sure was definitely a fun time. Um, but yeah, I didn't really get into Attack on Titan because it had its two core at the beginning. You know, it had its season one, season two, and then you just gotta wait. You had to like wait like 2 years, and then it like slowly started coming out, and then stopped, and then it started going. And by that time, I was like, I'm done with Attack on Titan. Like, I'm not watching this anymore. Like,
yeah,
I'm good. Um, you missed the ball. But yeah. I could talk about shows like that for hours, I guess, but maybe instead we'll talk a little bit about it here. I'll talk a little bit about like what I was watching, I guess, or what I've been doing since. Um, yeah, I so mostly what I did over my break was I played a lot of Ryuga Gotoku 7. So like a dragon, Yakuza like a dragon. Um, I got to chapter 12, I think it is. So like I'm almost at the end. Like I'm very very close to the end. I'm at the part where the game's like, "Hey, here are actually challenging fights and now you have to go grind." And so I'm like, "Well, done with this game." Cuz like they gave me this area. It's like a what's the phrase? Like it's like you know, like in Pokemon, like a tournament, like a battle frontier type thing where it's like just go through, or like Pit of 100 Trials or something from like Zelda or Mario RPG, Super Paper Mario or whatever. Like here's just go through a tournament and like try to fight and go in waves, and once you hit like wave 5, once you beat up to 5, then you can go back and like start from wave 5 again. So I guess it's more akin to like the Hercules cups or whatever in Kingdom Hearts. or like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 specifically. So like you're just going through a bunch of enemies and you can see like who's next, and you either go for it and just keep going, or you can um quit and leave. But if you quit and leave, you want to make sure you hit a certain threshold, so then you can go and actually save your progress essentially. Because if you leave too early, then you have to do everything all over again, or to that point. um so that's where I'm at on that. And I was really enjoying the story again, and then like really cool things happened, and then I died, and I'm like, well, this game is this, I guess, and I can't change the difficulty. Like I even checked because I was just like, just let me get through this game. I'm really really close to
Right.
being finished at this point, and I have not really been enjoying this game at all. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I enjoy the characters, um, and I enjoy the callbacks to certain things, but I do not enjoy the RPG mechanics from this. It feels very um repetitive and not fun, I guess.
I can see
Uh
that.
and maybe this is just me with my bias or whatever, but like when I'm playing an RGG game, when I'm playing a Yakuza game, I want to go, I want to attack, I want to hit square and circle or triangle, all these things. I want to actually fight. I don't want to do an RPG. If I want to play an RPG, I'll play Persona. I'll play Final Fantasy. I'll play something else. But I want to actively do something for these games, and it won't let me do that. I was having a lot of fun doing the retail management system mini game, which was really really fun. Where essentially um, it's a side thing, but there's a certain point in the game where they're like, need 300. It's like either like 3 million or 300 million or something like that. You need a lot of money, and so you can't progress until you get a lot of money. And so what you can do is just do the management simulation game, where Kasuga Ichiban, the main character, he is like in charge of like some realtor, like this like one specific retail store. And then as you go into like the management system, you start like hiring people, and you can like give people training, promotions, and you have to like guess and like just do a bunch of different things there. And you even have to like go to um stockholder meetings essentially, and you have to like have people like on your party. And like there's certain like holders meetings where like there's a boss, like a big boss at this holders meeting, and they have like HP, and then you have HP as well. And so a guy will be raising his hand, and you choose him, and then he'll like ask a question, and it's like green. So that means like green means that you need to have like a green person talk to them because it does like more damage or whatever, and then you can see his stuff go down. And so like the goal of it is to make everyone tired and agree with you, or um just make sure that they don't hurt you, and then um also just keep like your net gross and everything good and all that. So like I own like 4 places, and I can see like when I open the store and it goes like ding ding ding, and you're just like running across the thing, and you see
Yeah.
like um okay, good, now we're actually making money. Before it was just all of our costs of like how our employees and the building and all of that, and then you can see how much you get for this one, and on the bottom it's like another one, and then another one. And it was just really really fun, like a management system game. And I know a bunch of these Rio Gotoku games have these, but I've never really played them, and that's because I didn't really have to.
Right.
Whereas this game was like, hey, you need to make money quick, and I looked it up, and they're like, just do this because it's easy. And then I was actually having a lot more fun with that than the actual RPG game, like turn-based stuff of that game.
Right.
Um, so like I'll beat it someday because Wealth, the newest one, comes out this month actually. I'm not gonna get it on release because I'm not afraid of it going out of print or anything like that. Because it's gonna be very, very popular. I don't need it. And then I also still have to play The Man Who Erased His Name, the digital only one that has my fighting game or brawler type mechanics and stuff, but you're playing as Kiryu from the old games, so you get to see like what he's been up to into the previous game and beyond. Um, so that was mostly the only thing that I really did play. I did play some Mario Wonder and stuff like that, and I'm enjoying that. And then I did play a little bit of Super Mario RPG, and then I ended up just restarting and streaming it, as people may have seen. So with that, right now, dating this podcast, but I'm about halfway through because the game's not really that long. I'm like 6 hours in maybe. Um, and I'm about to finish Booster's Tower. So like I have like three out of 7 stars, and you get a star from Booster, right? Or maybe not.
And I don't think you do, if I
Okay.
remember.
Oh
Uh,
right, you don't. You get a party member, and then you have to go into the pirate stuff. Okay. So then never mind then. But I still like I am about halfway through of the game as far as I can tell. I am trying to do everything ish. So like I am doing thoughts, reading thoughts and stuff with Mallow for every single enemy. And trying to just do every move as well. Like super moves, like the try attacks and stuff. But yeah, those are all I've really been playing. As far as like watching and stuff, I did watch quite a bit. Because I did get I always forget which one it is. Peacock. I did get that for a
oh,
little bit
okay.
because I was at my parents' and house and family and all that and visiting, and we found out like the week of, we're like, oh, there's a Monk movie coming out,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh, okay, we really liked Monk. This is coming out in like 2 days. All right, we'll get Peacock and watch it. It was okay. It was an okay movie. I don't know how much you are in the Monk, but like I remember really liking Monk when I was younger. Like when it was on, and then it kind of it got canceled or stopped. But this is a nice little revisit. Seeing Monk deal with
My parents love that show.
yeah, like they might like the movie, but the problem is they recast one of the characters, and it just feels really off-putting. They recast spoilers for Monk, I guess. He has a daughter later, like way later down that. Like he discovers that he has a daughter, and at least I'm pretty sure he discovered. I don't know. I forget Monk now, but they replaced that actress, and it revolves around her. The movie does, like he's there and stuff, and but it revolves around a case around her. So it's like it's called like Mr. Monk's Last Case or something like that, and it was fine and it was serviceable and it was funny and heartfelt and everything. But it was also really depressing at times because like I don't know, like you'll notice it, but like I don't know if you listening out there like don't like certain triggers or anything like that, like trigger warning, I guess, like you can tell that Monk is contemplating suicide because he's done with his life. And so he is like counting pills. He hasn't been taking pills, and he's kind of like planning on just taking a bunch of pills at once and just finally being with his wife because he spoilers for the end of Monk is like he found out, like he was trying to catch like his wife's killer and all that kind of stuff. He already like everything's past him now. Now he has no reason. He feels like he has no reason to live, and you find out later like no he does and all that. But like yeah, there is a lot of like suicide contemplation and stuff like that multiple times in that movie. So just kind of a fair warning. Like, yes, you're watching a funny dramedy type thing, but like it gets dark there and like people cry and stuff and it gets a little sad, but like overall it was fine and serviceable. I was really happy to see most of the characters that I wanted to see again and all of that. So yeah, I watched that. I watched Godzilla minus one in theaters, and that was awesome.
I have heard nothing but good about that. Because my wife's like, "Oh, we need to get that for one of our younger ones." I'm like, "This one's not. He's not very nice, and I don't think he would like to watch this one."
It's
But my
yeah.
my 15-year-old is all about it because he has Shin Godzilla and loved it.
Well,
So
this is like a prequel, so I think they're gonna start doing Godzillas like in this format. Um, but it is subtitled only as well, so like there is no dub or anything for it, so it does make its accessibility a little harder for younger kids. Um, but it was excellent. My only complaint was the movie theater that I was in had like a bad bulb, so like it wasn't great to watch it. Um, but whatever. Um, what else did I watch? And I watched
did you
from
not watch? Did you not watch the Five Nights movie?
no, I did not. I did not do that.
Oh,
I watched Apple T. Oh, I watched a couple things actually. I watched Apple TV from not 2013, but I guess 2022 or 2013, 2023, but 2022 Christmas. There was that movie. It was a musical, right? And it was with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell,
oh yeah.
and it was like a holiday musical about like a Christmas Carol. I don't know if it was actually called a Christmas Carol or something. It's pretty funny. It was actually pretty good. Like it was a little on the nose at times and like very cheesy as a musical, but like I enjoyed myself. I thought it was pretty funny. I walked in watching um seeing some of my other family watch it. And so like I only missed like 10 minutes, but like I watched the rest of it and I was like, this is really funny and really good and the music is good and everyone can actually sing, so that was even better. Um and then I watched one other thing already and I don't remember what it was. No, I can't remember what it was. I thought it was something else, maybe through Apple TV or something, but oh right, Ryan Reynolds. I watched Free Guy for the first time
Oh, okay.
because it was on TV, and then I was watching a little bit of it, and then commercials happened. I was like, wait, I'm actually enjoying this movie. Let me just go on to Disney Plus and just watch it there.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the amount of cameos and like things they put in there are quite good. Um, I really did like it, and I didn't know what I was getting into, but I was like, oh, this is really good. So
Yeah, I thought the cameos were interesting, like who they chose, but then they just kept showing those two again, like just multiple times because it was what was it, Jacksepticeye and Pokimane. Like you saw them multiple times, like having roles, and I was like, all right, this is cute the first time, but you guys need to get off the screen. Give me more fake people, because
I
like
thoroughly spoiler if you have not watched it, but when he finally figured stuff out when he was fighting the bigger version of him, and the Captain America shield shows up,
oh yeah,
and then Chris Evans goes, "What the shit?"
yeah.
Like, because he's pissed off. And then he did a lightsaber. I'm like, the amount of money they paid just for those like little cameo things
Well, I
was.
don't know. They didn't have to though, because this is a Disney movie
Oh
technically,
yeah, it is
right?
a Disney movie. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is.
So like that's
Let
why they did it. Because there's
let's
a
not forget.
lightsaber, it was Hulk hands and Captain
Yeah,
America.
let's not forget that Deadpool is now a Disney movie.
That is true.
That is trippy to say. Um, I'm
Oh,
actually I'm actually gonna rewatch Deadpool 1 and 2 just because every time I see clips of it, I always laugh. Um, so, but this being the year of Deadpool, because we're gonna get a new Deadpool movie this year, it should
Yeah.
be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And then yeah, I also watched Logan. Same issue. Where I saw something on TV and I was like, I want to just watch this without commercials. So let me just go and watch Logan. And
So good.
I think I fell asleep. But like, it's a really good film. But like near the end, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep or something. But yeah, I remember watching that and like really, really enjoying that. And um, yeah. But yeah, that's mostly what I've been doing and watching. I mean, obviously as well, being at home versus being back here. Um, I I don't know. I need to get back on healthy mode, I guess, because it's hard to do stuff when you are at home versus back by yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, cool, I get all this stuff here because I'm essentially um like an only child for a little bit at my parents, and I was like, man, this is nice because I don't have my sisters over here. I get everything I want for a little bit. This is really nice, and I'm eating good food and all of that. And um one thing that I really do enjoy and keep me feeling good as well is Magic Mind,
Oh yeah.
where I don't really have energy like in the mornings and stuff, or I used to not really have energy in the mornings. And um I would go through a bunch of soda and all of that, just to try to keep myself awake. But like ever since I've used Magic Mind personally, and Ben can attest to this as well, I've been feeling very, very excellent. And yeah, just I have so much energy. I finally like I feel like I'm a full person again.
Yeah, yeah, it's so weird. The first time I tried it, I was like, "Is this gonna be like what they said?" Um, and I'm older. I will tell you, I have done energy drinks before. I've done, the Starbucks in the afternoon with after extra espresso shots. This is the one true thing that I could take in the morning, and then the whole day I'm like energized. But it's not just that for me. For me, it clears my mind, and I'm like fully concentrated on what it is I'm supposed to be doing for the day. So for like work, I felt myself being more productive. I felt myself being more concentrated on my job. And I know like it doesn't say it there, but I was sleeping better at night because I wasn't pounding all the caffeine during the day. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
I think that was the big thing for me. I was just sleeping better, but like I felt great all day.
And
I know. I was like,
oh, well, I was gonna say like yeah, you definitely are feeling good because of just it has all natural ingredients, sourced from the best suppliers that they could
mhm.
find. Like there's no sugar, it's nut free, it's vegan, it's keto, it's paleo free. Like of course you're feeling good because you're not having all that gross stuff that like the average like soda is giving you, or
Oh
even
yeah,
just like the overpriced coffees from coffee places, and all of
yes,
that. But yeah, we like to share this with you. For this January, actually, there is a special promotion with Magic Mind. Um, so you get 1 month free when you're subscribing for 3 months. If you go to our special link here, and we'll share that on the the video as well as the audio podcast. You can look for it there in the description. But you go to magicmind.com/JAN, like January. So JAN, Get At It Games. That is Magic Mind, MAGICMIND.com/JAN as in Nancy. Get At It Games, GETATITGAMES. And also, while you're at it, you can get up to 20% off of a one time purchase with the code get at it 20 GETATIT 20. So if you do that along with the January special right now, I mean that's an extra 20% off, which gets you to like 75% off, which is pretty awesome, honestly.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
that's a really good deal. Um we recommend it because again we've been feeling great and stuff, but if you don't like it, it's totally fine because Magic Mind has 100% money back guarantee with no questions asked. If you don't like it, they'll refund you. So definitely go to magicmind.com/JAN get at it games and use that code get at it 20 GETATIT 20 to get that 20% off. And again, this special only goes for the 1 month free when you're subscribing for 3 months. That is only through January. So act now, because it's only January. You know, they want
Yeah,
you to get on those New Year's resolutions. Obviously, you want to be better, feel better at the beginning of the year. Act on this now when you can.
absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing for the future of the podcast. And I know we kind of like hit on a bunch of little things there. One thing I will personally say is we want to do more guests. We want to do more people on the show. We want to do a lot of that going into the next year and where the future um, goes. If you listen to the podcast and you stream or you have a YouTube or you have something, definitely reach out to us on one of our social platforms. We'd love to kind of talk about collaboration with some people. I know at the beginning we talked about moving hidden trophies to the a video only at the end of the month at some point, but I think Alex and I are at the point now where we want to do more for the podcast and do just we want to do big things, and I think collaboration is where it's at. Um,
Yeah, definitely. As Ben stated, like yeah, if you're I don't know, like yeah, if you're streaming, if you're doing your stuff, and you want to talk to us, obviously beyond an episode, you can definitely reach us out on all of our socials, and you'll see those on the description. Um, if uh, if you want to reach out, and yeah, we can definitely collab and do something. Um, and we can do something that is something like if you have an idea for us and you want to do something specific, that's cool. If you want to just be on an episode, that's cool as well. We've also done other episodes before, where it's kind of just like it's your show and it's kind of like a casual interview type thing, and kind of just
yeah,
get you out there, but also just let our audience know who you are, um, and then we can all talk about how cool you are.
yeah. We have some scheduled for this next year. We have some we're working on. Um, and if you look at last year, we had, you know, we did have some guests on last year. I think this year is going to be a bigger year of guests. Um, we're gonna. And we've said it before. The spoiler cast is something I think we are going to try and do more of. And we're going to keep it more casual. We at the beginning we went to straight news and talked about news stories. Kind of went away from that and then kind of came back to it. Um, I kind of want to, we both talked about it and really want to get back to that casual thing. Like this whole episode's very casual, and I love it.
Too casual, some might say.
Yeah, someone's probably going to say that. Um, but yeah, we definitely want to. We're excited for the future and see what it holds for us. But one thing that I wanted to bring up here as we hit to the tail end of the show is our predictions for 2023. And looking over them, we didn't pick very well. Um,
I think we
I
tied.
I think we did. I'm gonna just bring it up so I have it. And so originally, um, this was 11/19/2022. Holy crap. Okay. So for 2022, I had 1 point. Alex had 1 point. Um, so here are the predictions, and I'll just read, you know, one at a time here. So for Alex, a new Nintendo console will be teased by the press, but we will not see it. Only specs.
It's a half point there.
I'll give you the half point because they did say it's coming. No specs. There was actually an IGN story saying that they thought that it was going to cost around $400, which, if it's a more powerful looking Switch, I'm okay with that. I have no problem. I mean, crap, I paid $500 for my PS5. So
Yeah, but not only that, like, because that was kind of like this year technically, but like even last year, people talked about like game devs like having it and like already
yeah,
working. Like the press was talking about how it exists and it's out there. We don't really know anything about it, but it is out there.
yeah, and I know we know it's coming this year. My guess is I want to say they would announce it in March, but I almost think they're going to wait till June and do a big hoopla because there is no E3 anymore. Maybe do it at I don't think they'll do it at Summer Game Fest. I don't think that's their avenue for it. Uh, but we'll wait and see. We know it's coming this year.
Mhm.
So um, his number two was the PS5 design will not sell well. People will still sell the original SKU for more online on eBay slash online. It's too early to tell because we just got that SKU not too long ago.
Yeah.
I've heard of people. This is crazy. I've heard of people trading in their old ones to get the new one, which I find is pretty crazy. I'd rather have the one I have. I don't think there's a major difference enough for me to trade it in.
Yeah.
Um, but it's still kind of early on that one there. Um, he, he gets 0 points for this one, Alex. We will get a release date for Kingdom Hearts 4. Doesn't have to be an actual date. I mean, we saw the the one, and that was it. We saw the one video. It's been pretty quiet since then. My favorite one is he threw an extra one. Ben will buy GTA 5 on Xbox Series X, which I did not. I did not buy it. Um,
Did you play it on Game Pass?
I did play it on Game Pass, but we did discuss that playing it on Game Pass because it was free is not the same as buying it.
Yeah, that's true.
Technically. Um, this is what I had. There'll be an announcement for the new Switch. It will be shown, but no release date. That did not happen. I mean, Nintendo's like, it's coming at some point. Um, it kind of along with what Alex says, we know it's coming. We know devs have it already. The devs that have said anything about it have said it's fantastic, but that's it. We have
Mhm.
nothing else. Um, this one is kind of I should get a half point for. We will see a new Mass Effect game. New game will have Shepard. They did not confirm Shepard, but they did confirm a new game. And the person that they showed in it had, the ship logo on it.
N7.
So yeah, so I the rumor is they're going to bring Shepard back, which is crazy because he was blown up in the first one. Spoilers. Second one, he was regenerated with DNA, and then third one, he was dead again. So I don't know. I don't know. The trailer they showed, even as short as it was, looked great.
Mhm.
It did. And if they're going to do more Mass Effect games, they gotta bring Shepard back because no one cared about the last one. The story with that and the weird facial animations.
Mhm.
Um, they've got to. So I should get at least a half a point for that one. This one was not even close. GTA 6 will come out. Um, I have never been so wrong on something in my entire life.
It got announced.
It did get announced, but not for another whole year. Um, which when they showed the trailer, I was like, "Oh, finally a trailer, right? We're getting it 2024." Nope, another.
25.
It's insane to me that I guess I want to have a moment. It's insane to me that they're pushing it back to 2025 when they've had all this time to work on it. All this time. Um, if they wouldn't spend so much time like re-releasing Grand Theft Auto 5 and redoing the, so it could work on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, we would have already had it. We would have already had it. And the only reason we even got the trailer is because there's been so many leaks, you know. Um, it just, I don't know. It's
Yeah, I
the.
wonder if we would have got a trailer this year if we didn't get that leak earlier last year.
I mean, would you even call it a trailer? It was like what, like a minute? It wasn't very long.
The trailer just happened. Yeah, it's a cinematic trailer.
Yeah, but it wasn't very long. I mean, it was
No,
like
it's a
super
teaser.
short. Yeah. Uh,
But it all looked like it was actually running an engine. Like it didn't look like it was like pre-rendered cutscenes versus
yeah.
whatever.
I should have said that the new Suicide Squad game will totally bomb.
It's not out yet
Should
though.
have said so side note, IGN, did you see their headline for it?
It's not just IGN, it's other people. Yeah, they just no one
Yeah.
likes it.
The IGN headline was, "We played Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and we didn't like it." That is like what they put. And you're right. I've seen other outlets that didn't like it.
And this was at like CES or something. Like this wasn't like the game is out now. It was like they went
Right.
to a sponsored like to a press section and played the game, and even then it still wasn't good.
How do you do like three of the top superhero games of all time, and then this is what you come up with next? I just don't understand the fall that quickly.
Executives, executive decisions, like that's just what it is. It's, hey guys, you gotta do a free to play type game. You gotta do Fortnite, guys. What you mean you want to do something else that's actually cool? No, you gotta do Fortnite, and like that works for certain groups or whatever. But like, make the game good. Did you see these screenshots? Like how
Oh yeah,
awful they look, and everyone's complaining about it because there's just a bunch of grossness all over the screen. Like you can barely see what you're playing because there's so many things just on there. Like
yeah.
yeah, it's just so much stuff on the HUD, and it's just probably a lot of useless stuff as well.
I
Um,
guess what upsets me about it the most is this is Kevin Conroy's last game.
I think that's one of the
Uh,
reasons why they delayed it too, because people didn't receive well for it, and they're like, oh, maybe we should try a little bit more because like this is his last game, and maybe if we show that it looks good enough, then maybe people will buy it. But
I think it's gonna flop. I'll buy it when it's on clearance just to have his last game. Um,
I'm not gonna buy it.
I think it's gonna end up. I think it's gonna be another Gotham Knights situation. You know,
At least with
uh,
Gotham Knights, like it's a it seems to be a better game.
I mean, I feel like it's slow, but you're right. It is.
It is a game. It's a single player game at that,
Yeah,
technically.
this feels too much like Fortnite. I think this is the biggest problem in the world of video games. You have executives that do not have knowledge of video games, but they just see, oh, I saw this on Facebook, or my 10-year-old said, oh, you should make a game like this, but with superheroes. Um, and then they're like, oh, that's what we're gonna do. Is executives just making bad decisions?
Yep.
So yeah, well, this has been our first episode back. These will all of our episodes release uh, every other week, um, fairly early in the morning now. So, with the video releasing on Friday of that week, um, we will have a link in the description for Magic Mind for that extra 20% off. We'll definitely check that out as well. Um, Again, if you want to reach out to us and talk with us about being on an episode or whatnot, hit us up on social. We'll have links in the description for that as well. Did you have anything else, Alex?
Not really much except get at it.
Get at it.